Since you've been away, I've been down and lonely. Since you've been away, I've been thinking of you, trying to understand the reason you left me. What were you going through? I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. As I look around, I see things that remind me. Just to see a smile made my heart fill with joy. I still recall all those dreams we shared together. Where did you run to, boy? I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. Tell me why the road turns. I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns. Sometimes I've wondered, I didn't understand just where you were trying to go. Only you knew the plan. And I tried to be there, but you wouldn't let me in. But now you've gone away, boy. I feel so broken hearted. I knew the day we started that we were meant to be. If only you let me. I've cried so many tears. Gotta face now all my fears. We let time slip away. I need you, boy, here today. There was so much you gave to my heart, to my soul. There was so much of your dreams that were never told. You had so much hope for a brighter day. Why were you my flower plucked away? I'm missing you. Tell me why the road turns.
I'd like to welcome you on this crisp winter's afternoon and thank you all for giving so generously of your time to be here today with Mutiat's family to celebrate her life, that I understand was a rich tapestry. My name is Pauline Miller. I'm the Director of Personal Touch Funerals, and I'll be officiating today's Celebration of Life service for Mutiat, who is known fondly to many of you as Peju. So that is how we will refer to her this afternoon. Before we begin, can I ask you please to ensure that your phones are either on silent or turned off? It's heart-lifting to see such a strong turnout today for Peju's Celebration of Life service. And today we have a nice full programme that reflects the love felt and shared for her. We'll hear from many of you who shared her life's journey with Peju and who will share your precious memories with us today. We have an hour service and we want to hear all of your tributes in full, but please be mindful of the time so that we can all get in all planned and we don't have to rush what is a very special day. So we're going to begin our service today with the hymn Amazing Grace, the words you'll actually find in your programme. Amazing Please be seated. Our scripture reading will be Psalm 23, and we read today by Peju's brother, Adi.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for coming. Psalms 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Thank you, Eddie. Looking around, it's clear that Peju meant the world to those of you who are here today. So we'll now have a selection of tributes from you, her family and friends.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Susan Lee, and I am a friend of Peju. Actually, I wouldn't say I'm her friend. I would actually say I'm her sister. I've known Peju since we were both, she was 10 and I was 11. Peju had just relocated to Nigeria from England, and I think this was like 1976. And I don't know if Ade would remember, we had to go for summer school, and we would all go to my mom's office and pretend that we're studying, and all we looked forward to was eating lunch and hanging out. So Pedro and I stayed together while she was attending Methodist Girls High School in Nigeria, which was a secondary school, and I was at Queen's College. And because we lived close to the schools, Pedro ended up staying with us. And there that began the beginning of a lifetime friendship for us. I'm actually going off what I wrote. I'm sorry. Peju was my friend, my sister, my confidant, and often my partner in mischief. We spent, when she returned to England, I moved to the United States, and we spent countless conversations over the phone, visiting each other, going for holidays, spending times with our families, and we created countless moments of camaraderie and forged an unbreakable friendship. Her compassionate spirit left an indelible mark on my life. She inspired me to embrace adventure, and everyone that knows Peju has a very adventurous spirit. Peju is the fun person. Peju is the life of the party. Peju is, I was the timid one in our friendship, and Peju would force me to go out and do things, and she taught me how to swim when I was 50 because I had the fear of water, and just so many instances where, she was always determined to bring me out of my shell and just bring that side out of me. We took countless trips together over different countries on vacations together. Her love for those she cherished was boundless and encompassing. Her love for her daughter Fonto, unwavering love and determination, her love for her siblings, an extended family, and also her friends. Pedro had an unwavering determination and unshakable resolve, and this fueled her passions, whether professional endeavors or personal pursuits, horseback riding, sailing, fitness, to name a few. Pedro had a passion for dance, diverse musical genres, and also tried to sing at times. Pedro, I'm sorry. Yeah. So today we gather to honor the life of a truly remarkable friend, Pedro. She was a source of unwavering joy and light for everyone who had the privilege of knowing her. Our infectious laughter, our unwavering support made every moment spent with her a cherished memory. Whether we celebrated triumphs or sought solace during challenging times, Pedro was always by the side of numerous individuals fortunate enough to be her friends. Pedro was a paragon of kindness, generosity, and love, inspiring everyone around her to embrace life to the fullest, cultivate gratitude, and recognize the inherent goodness in each day. Though her physical presence is no longer with us, her spirit and her cherished memories will remain deeply etched within my heart. I strive to honor her memory by embodying the same courage and enthusiasm Pedro had for life. As I was writing these words, a poem came to mind. It's written by David Hawkins, and it's She's Gone. And as I quote, it's, "You may weep for her presence or smile for the life she lived. You may yearn for her return or recognize the legacy she left behind. Your heart may ache for her absence, or you may let it flow with the love you shared." In this time of grief, I take solace in the fact that Pedro found peace and transcended the limitations of our world. Rest in peace, dear friend, knowing that you left an indelible mark on our lives, which will be forever etched in our lives. Your love and influence will never fade, and your memory will inspire generations to come.
I say this every service that I give, that it is not easy to come up here when your heart is breaking and your mind doesn't want to be really even speaking to anybody, but you're now going to try and put together eloquent words to make everybody understand what you feel. So you've both done incredibly well. And there's no sorry up here. You come and you say what your heart feels. You know it, she knows it. That's really all that matters.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Tom Boyle. I was Pedro's partner for almost 9 years. And I'd like to take you back to when I met her. It was the summer of 2013, and we'd met for a couple of dates for drinks. Then I thought I'd push the boat out a little bit and I'd take her for a meal. And we went to Farringdon. We went to the Bleeding Heart restaurant in Farringdon. And after the meal, I accompanied her down to the tube, thinking I'll do the gentlemanly thing and make sure she's okay. So I was about to say my polite good night when she grabbed me by the lapels, pulled me into the connecting corridor down in the tube, and planted a big smacker right on my lips. I'm like, whoa. So then she said, "Thank God that's done. I can't be standing on ceremony any longer." As I waved her goodbye, I rightly thought this is a start of something really powerful. In fact, that was a big underestimation of both the situation and of Pedro. Over almost 9 years, we had a relationship filled with fun, banter, or bants as I think young people call it these days, love, intellectual debate, travel, and warmth. Sadly, where I live in Milton Keynes, it held no great attraction for, well, it doesn't hold much attraction for many people actually. Being one of the most landscape locations in England, that's no match for her dreams of a life on the ocean wave. While we tried a compromise, we were both too stubborn to let go of the good lives that we both had. Me with golf at one of the best golf courses in Britain, and her with her frequent visits to Portsmouth, the Hamble, Southampton and beyond. We decided to split as a couple after she took me to the Isle of Wight for my birthday in 2022. I think that setting made her mind up that she belonged near water, not roundabouts and concrete cows. It may sound a bit cliched, but we remained good friends and actually had lunch in London earlier this year. Loved the whisky, and I felt honoured when she travelled to Scotland for sailing that she sought out the best whisky bar in Glasgow. I didn't even know of it myself. She genuinely also loved haggis. Now, for those of you who don't know, that's that little three-legged animal that runs around hillsides, you know. And she was really a woman of taste. Well, most of the time, obviously she made some mistakes. Not for her, the run-of-the-mill pub down the road. God forbid she would enter a Spoons, even crossing the road at one point when we were in Southampton to avoid having to go past the Wetherspoons. No, darlings, it was quality or bust. She loved a fancy cocktail at an even fancier hotel. And I took her with my sister to Scotland's fanciest hotel, Gleneagles. And she strode into the place like she owned it, quickly found the plushest seat in the house in the cocktail bar, where she ordered an eye-wateringly expensive whiskey-based cocktail. But she didn't quite share the love of certain big, hairy, wide-eyed Scottish beasts. I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about the Highland cow. You know the one with the fringe? We were out walking with my sister in the Highlands, and we were actually chased up the hill by a stampede. Before I finish, I'd just like to include a few words that never got into the tributes book. So I think some of the ladies from Pedju's Tennis Club might be here. Is that right? Yes, there they are. Okay. And I believe that Pedju might have started the group. Is that right? And I wasn't. Yes, or it was around at the beginning of it. Well, I got from Dino, who's your teacher, tennis teacher. I got a few words from Dino. Here they are. Pedju was a firebrand. That's a strong word. She was a strong, confident woman that let me know exactly what she thought of me, or so I believe. She had an engaging mix of befriending me and also putting me on my heels with choice words and humour that left me not knowing if she really meant what she said, but she was always well-meaning and humorous. I looked up the meaning of firebrand, and it said, a person who is very passionate about a particular cause. And that reminds me of her other lost calling, a lawyer. She should have been either a doctor or a lawyer. I mean, she's a very successful woman in her time, don't get me wrong, but those would have been the two professions. She successfully defended herself twice in Lambeth Magistrates Court, and winning both and including compensation. No lawyer needed. She returned to Blairderry on the second of those occasions with that little modest look, and then broke into the biggest smile and a punch of the air to say effectively, I got the buggers. Don't mess with me. From Jed, who is here, who used to work with her at Chapter 1 Housing, Jed said, I met Pedju when she was a project manager for refurbishment for Chapter 1 building at Waterloo. As well as having a wicked sense of humour, she was the best project manager I ever worked with. What an accolade, Jed. She more than held her own on the building site, standing up to site foremen and builders to ensure that the building came in on time and budget. She was an excellent negotiator. No one pushed her around. But underneath that determined person was a very warm, friendly and engaging colleague and friend. Outside of work, Jed said she liked to enjoy herself, and we shared many drinks in the local pubs. She had strong opinions, which could become even stronger in the pub. She was truly valued by all staff and board members at Chapter 1, and I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to learn from her, work with her, and call her a friend. Finally, you're allowed to know, I'd like to finish with something that was a daily ritual for Pedro, and also perhaps a metaphor for her life. So I'm going to get in my bag of tricks here again, and show you something else. So every day she would have tea, lots of tea. Now, she didn't drink out of one of these. No. Pedro had to drink from she had a collection of these, it's still there. And the bigger the better. And she sent me off on a mission to find even more of these things, like the biggest mugs. So to me it's not only about the tea drinking, but that's a kind of metaphor for who she was. She was big and bold, and you knew she was coming. She was there. Pidge, you'll be really missed for all those reasons and more. But you've left such an imprint on people's lives in your years here on this earth. And I just know right now that you'll be having the biggest tea or cocktail up there in a big party with the celestial angels.
So, I know that the family want to do a special, spend some time with her at the end. So, yes, so I'm going to skip our hymn. I'd like to hear a little bit more from a few of you so that we can do that.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming. Well, Tom, thanks so much. What do I have to say? You've said it all. So, asking me to talk about my sister, Adepeju. Where do I begin? Peju wasn't my sister. She was my best friend. We had an uncanny way of relating with each other. She would just say, "Sis, don't go like that. Don't go like that. You just do it this way, do it this way." She was my boss. Peju, as a young child, she was rather timid. She crybaby, we used to call her crybaby, I do remember. And then all of a sudden, as she grew, she became this boss lady, and like, oh, this is how we do it, this is what I do. Peju was very, very adventurous. And I just can't believe I'm talking about my sister in the past tense. It's still like a dream. If I was asked to talk about Peju, I'd write a book. There's so many memories, there's so many thoughts. Within the family, she was always planning something for us to do, one lunch, one dinner. She always wanted us to do something. And of course, she was always the life of the party. And then when the younger ones got a bit off, she'd say, give them a bit of a sisterly, motherly talk. The one thing I'd like to say is that I'm glad I was able to see her before she left. We were able, all the family, we were able to say our goodbyes to her. And she had a special word for each and every one of us. She had moments with us where she had a conversation. And I remember the last bit she said to me, "Sis, do you think I'll get over this?" said, yes. Do you believe in miracles? She said, of course I do. I said, then fight. Fight for this life. We need you here. And of course, we both ended up in our tears. We had saying goodbye was very important for most of the family. There's so much running around in my brain, I don't know what to say, but I do know that Peju, if you ever came across Peju, you could never forget the experience, because she'd rein you in. By the time she asked her little questions and this and that, she'll lead you round and round. By the end of the night, you're telling her your life story. That was Peju. She had this uncanny gift of bringing you out, making you feel special. Even if she's only meeting you for the first time, Peju would say, I'm sure I've not met you before. That's her line. And then she reins you in. She was a go-getter. If Peju could think it, she was going to do it. She'd say, I'm going on a holiday and I feel like I need to go and climb this. I've been thinking about it. And she would do it. She would think about it, she does it. Also, what else can I say? Too much to say. I just keep thinking about them and rounding them up because I'm not good at writing speeches. So I just know that we'll miss her. The whole family will miss her because we're very good on family get-togethers, the families. We love to be around each other. We love to joke. We love to laugh. If you're around us sometimes when we have our get-togethers, you shake your head and wonder, these ones, they're a lost cause. So we will miss Paige because she was always the life of the party for us. She was the life of our gatherings. And another thing I remember, I think Paige knew she was going to go because we were all as a family, we were in Spain in, end of March to early April. And to tell me that this is Paige gone, she danced like never before. I mean, she and Funto, her daughter, they were dancing and larking around and doing all sorts. And I remember she kept saying, sis, what legacy do we leave? And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? What are we legacying? She said, Funto, I need Funto sis, we need to find a way to let Funto become a woman. We need to let Funto, she was so worried about Funto. And I was wondering, Paige, what's bringing this on? She says, well, you never know tomorrow. We just need, I think she knew, she had an idea that something was, she knew. I just had that feeling. And she kept trying to have words with each and every, it's like she was tidying up to say goodbye. Because I played back, Paige, when she takes me to the airport, because when I went back in May, after coming back from Spain, Lanzarote, Paige normally takes me to, once she gets to the airport, I check in, she says, well, sis, it's been lovely having you around, we've got to do this. We forgot to go to that lunch place we were supposed to go. And that dinner, this. No, don't worry, when you come next, we're going there. This time around, Paige saw me right to that part where, you're being, and she was standing there, and she was just looking. And I'd look back. I'd went through that, and then my luggage went through, the belt there. And I looked around. She was still standing there. And I was thinking, why? And I thought, okay, Paige, come, bye. I'm going in. Bye. And that was the last time, we were together. Because she also took me on my way to the airport, which she normally doesn't do. She took me for dinner, So I could go on and on, but I know that everybody that's met Peju must have left you with some impression or the other. And I know it's good and loving and caring. Thank you all for listening.
Growing up, it was difficult to hear that my mum was soft and timid and cried a lot, because I think amongst the families and amongst my best friends, I'm actually known as a bit of a crybaby myself. But considering how she toughened up after going to school in Nigeria, she never stole or dampened my sensitivity, or the fact that I feel very deeply. She encouraged it and made sure it was a strength and a power. And because of her, I do think that loving hard is my superpower. And being a crybaby, if she was here, she'd probably ask me if I think I'm Stevie Wonder. But quite frankly, I don't think I could look people in the eye and get any words out. So I had to make some choices. As Tom mentioned, my mum likes nice things, so I made sure that the choice that I made was Fendi. I did double check to make sure that I knew what a eulogy was, but I also knew that I probably wasn't going to give you one. I don't typically follow scripts for any speeches that I give. I tend to wing it because crybaby and sensitive. She was Mutiat or Peju or Pej, kid, PJ to a lot of people, and to a lot of people in this room, I am Funto or Fabi or Riscat. But for each other, my name is Diddy, short for Diddy Pops. And for me, it was mummy, when I wanted something, but also just in general. Mother Bear, Lady, or her begrudged favourite, Peanut. And God help anyone else who tried to call her Peanut. I think I did prepare, but I won't eulogise, I don't know if that's the word, because I think that part of her life, whether it's education, career, volunteering, personality, humour, everything has really been covered. As many people know, for the past 6 weeks I've actually not been in the UK. I've been out of the country doing sport. So for the most part, today is the first time in 6 weeks that I've looked at anyone who actually knew my mum. And I'm finding it the hardest now to speak about her. But for the past 6 weeks, I've been running my mouth up and down every day, telling stories about my mum, to the point where I had to ask my teammates if it was irritating, because I couldn't help it. Someone would be talking about something, and because she sits firmly in my heart and my subconscious and conscious mind, without even realising, oh yeah, and then one time me and my mum, my mum used to, and actually yeah, I was gonna with my mum. I feel blessed that my mum was so incredibly cool. To have to live up to the things she did feels like it will be an everlasting task, but I'm up for the challenge. She made me feel like I could try and do anything I wanted, and nobody can tell me any different. And that's probably why I chose to start throwing myself down ice mountains. I think it's a testament to who she was as a person, that even during this time, there's no way she would have allowed me to stay at home despite being ill. I went to the house yesterday alone just to kind of be there. At home, some friends of mine that again have never met my mum had sent flowers to the flat that she had me start saving for at 18. And I don't think I would be this lucky if my mum wasn't so great, because there was a huge hole in my heart. But because of everything that she poured into me and how I've been able to go out into the world, I'm surrounded by so many people who are trying furiously to fill it. So even in my grief, I'm so grateful for everyone that is looking out for me and desperately trying to fill what is missing. Because I know that that generally comes from her. I think what's most difficult is that although she's ever present in my mind, I'm just hyper aware that she's not here. At the same time, I forget. Flying back from Latvia on the 15th, in the airport, I thought, ooh, a shop of traditional Latvian things, I should get something for. Perhaps not. Yesterday on the train to get to the athletics track, I saw an advert for a ballet, and I thought, oh, man. But I'm sure that I'm not the only person that has so many things they would have wanted to do with Mum in the future, or conversations that you would have wanted to have, jokes to share. But luckily for us, memories don't die, and in times of sadness, we get to relive them over and over and over again, and nothing can take them away from you. Funny enough, with Mum, when she was still here, and I followed her to her appointment to find out, I didn't cry. I don't think I cried really in front of her, maybe once, which is very unusual for our dynamic, because I think it was my turn to stand for her. So you'll have to forgive me for all the tears henceforth. Thank you.
Family, I'm going to ask you to come and spend some time and do a close. So I'm only going to ask family to come up to say their goodbyes to Peju quietly, while the rest of us stand, and I'm going to say a prayer, and we're going to think about her at the same time. Yeah? Can I ask you all please to stand? I'm sorry. There's no getting away from it. The subject of death is a very difficult one. Irrespective of who you are, the coming to terms with the fact that a loved one has gone and that we'll not see them again is daunting. Those of us who've experienced losing a loved one know that we'll have good days and bad days. But thankfully, as time passes, the bad days do become less frequent. I did some research on Peju's name, Mutiat. The name, I understand, is from Arabic roots, and it's a name most frequently heard in Nigeria and Gambia. It's associated with strong words, as we've heard today, as creativity, practicality, order, devotion, and obedience. Other descriptions associated with her name which made me smile because you then described this of her. You tend to be lavish in your tastes and to spend your money freely. You have a heart of gold and are always ready to give generously. The character of Peju, as we've heard today, represents all these virtues and more. Her pictures tell the story that you've all described. She was the life and soul of any party, be it with a large gathering or just a few friends. Her pictures depict a woman who lived life to its fullest. She had a beautiful light in her eyes, has been described with kindness of her soul, and as can be seen in every picture, she had a beautiful, vibrant smile. I want to end today's service with a poem entitled Death is Nothing at All. It reminds us she's never far away, and much should remain and will remain the same. I'd like you to close your eyes. I'd like family members to make their way up and stand with Peju while I read this and think of her. So if you could all close your eyes for me, just think of Peju as you know her, just think of her voice speaking to you. Death is nothing at all. I have only slipped away to the next room. I am I, and you are still you. Whatever we were to each other, that we still are. Call me by my old familiar names: Mutiat, Peju, mother, sister, cousin, friend. Speak to me in the easy way which you always used. Put no difference into your tone. Wear no forced air of sadness or sorrow. But instead, laugh as we always laughed, at the little jokes we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without effect, without the trace of a shadow on it, for life means all that it ever meant. It is the same that it ever was. There is absolute, unbroken continuity. Why should I be out of mind simply because I am out of sight? I am but waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere very near. I'm just around the corner. No, all is well. Nothing is past, nothing is lost. One brief moment, and all will be as it was before, only better, infinitely happier, and forever we will all be one together again. As they say in Nigerian, Ami. The family have organised a lovely reception for you all, and I'd like to thank you for coming here today. You'll find the address on the back of the programme. If I can ask you to make your way out this way. I will.
Wow. Yeah. Shorty. Yeah. This one goes out to all my women, you know, my strong women. So amazing how this world was made. I wonder if God is a woman. The gift of life astounds me to this day. I give it up for the woman. She's the constant wind that fills my sail. Oh, that woman. With a smile and a star, she'll protect you like a child.
The life of Peugeot. If we could perhaps all hold hands, spend the first few seconds thinking about how we held her in our heart. Lord God, we ask you to bless us. Today we mourn but also celebrate the life of our loved one, Peugeot. May you welcome her with open arms. May you welcome her into the land of paradise. We ask that you give us strength to cope with our grief. We ask that you give us strength and comfort us. We ask that you allow us to look back on the joy and the love that she gave all of us. We ask that we hold her in our heart for now and forevermore. For her family, we ask a special prayer.
Hey, she'll put a smile upon her face and take you to the higher place. So don't you underestimate the strength of a woman. Strength of a woman. Tender lips, they're so sweet. Gentle where she softly speaks. Such an angel when we meet. God bless the ground beneath her feet. She can take you on a high, be a comfort when you cry. But if you look into her eyes, you'll see the strength of a woman. Strength of a woman. She'll put a smile upon her face and take you to the higher place. So don't you
Again, will be Tom Boyle, Page partner of 9 years.
Thank you. Right, you probably all had enough of me already, so I'm going to keep this very short. But what a lot of you don't know in here is that actually, Pedro and I got married in Nigeria. So Sam and Susan were with us, and we went up to where her ancestral home was in Abeokuta. You know where the rock is and all of that?
Well, I don't know what Liz is talking about, but you know, she sounds very convincing. So, my name's Maggie. What a lovely day. I listened during the service and I was just really excited when I heard all the tributes and all the memories and all the ways in which Peugeot just really engaged in people's life, and I started to feel sad because I know Peju in a different way. And I started to think, but I feel like we were really good friends, but we never went on spa pampering days. And I didn't know that she sailed. And my friend Carol tells me that she likes horse riding and is very good at it. And I know Peju through Ade. And when you know someone as a family friend, you know, like the friend of the family, it's easy to kind of feel like you're on the outside, but I didn't with Peju. And the only thing I can say is I knew her before we had children. We both have a daughter, and I knew her before then. But Peju always made me laugh, you know, belly laugh, you know, proper, deep, resounding, heavy laugh. She was always really positive. She was always really challenging in a positive way. And I remember the last conversation I had with her, I think it was with Tom as well, and we're talking about the possibility of, well, me going to Dubai and doing some training there and, you know, dropping all the boring, horrible things here in the UK and just going for a new life. And then I suddenly felt really old afterwards and thought I'd leave it to the young people. But what did happen was that she stirred my spirit. She made me feel like I wanted to do something good and something great. And today, I feel like I'm reminded that I need to do something good and something great. This is water, but let's...
Hi, good evening everyone. I've got to do the spin so I can say hi. Firstly, I want to introduce myself as Tom's agent. So if anyone wants to employ Tom for speeches, he comes in different moments of time. And yeah, Tom? Don't worry, we'll do it in US dollars and sterling. Yeah? So let me introduce myself in case you don't know me. Hopefully many of you do. I am Addie's wife's youngest brother. I put youngest in. Yeah? I think for me, as I say, there's no piece of paper, it's from the heart. I mean, when Addie blessed us with having a relationship with Pauline and everybody starting a new family, from there this has become my family. We have grown together, we've all been so close, and at a young age I met Peju when Addie and Pauline got together, and it started from there. And Peju just like a sister to me. We've kind of got a situation here for me where I'm not sure how to feel. You know, when you've met someone, you just become part of their life, they're part of yours. And as you can see, she's quite a private person, but with all of you, she's got her own relationship. That some of it has been action page, some of it has been guidance page, and some of it has been sister or mother page, or doctor page. Which Thomas said. But for me, I think she's been a little bit of everything. She's been in the family in a way, whereas when it's time for Paige to appear, she's there. And I think it's just a testament to her. She's not that sort of person that wants that big, vibrant, massive situation. She wants the close people that she's connected with over all the years. And all of you have got your own relationship. And to even hear how she operates at work, that's the kind of person you want to employ. You know, as a female, it can't be easy to go into a male world and push, get respect, deal with men and get something out of it that you get that respect. And I'll tell you, on behalf of my family, Pauline's back, the Fabuni Stones, everyone, I just want to say we've been very blessed to have Peju in our life. And from a spiritual place, I know Peju is in the right place now. She's a blessed woman. And then from a personal place, I'm going to miss her. But again, if you have a glass to raise, let's raise our glass to Peju. Thank you.
Gosh, I've known Peggy for, I was just working it out actually, I thought it was 24 years. I met her. 25, that's right, 25 years. And I remember when I first met her, I thought to myself, wow, I've got a real cracker here. I was her manager and I thought, I've got a real cracker here, I've got to be on my toes. I've got to be on point all the time. Because she made you want to be a better person, want to be the best version of yourself. And over that time, we had some amazing experiences. She was there when I got married. She was there when I had my son. Funto was my son's first babysitter, and he loves her to death. But Peggy was someone who could make you laugh, could make you cry, could challenge you, but she was so much fun. And I just want to give you a story which is like, I call classic Peggy. This is quite a few years ago. We were at work. I was going off to a reception, and she'd been invited to the same reception, and she said to me, oh no, I didn't fancy it. I said, oh well, I'm going to go, and she's like, do you know what, maybe I'll come with you. And I said, yeah, but you've declined. She said, yeah, it's all right, don't worry. So we get there, and some of you know this story. We get there, and they've got all the badges, you know, because it's like a work reception. So I've got my badge. And then they say, oh, we haven't got a badge for you. And she goes, what? What do you mean? I come to this reception every year. You've got no badge for me. What do you... And the woman's like, oh no, I'll write you one out. And the Peggy's like, write me a badge. When everyone else's is printed. That's just not... It's not good enough. Not good enough. I'm insulted. Anyway, this woman writes out the badge. We go in, and she says to me, you see. and then we're like talking to some people, and this woman comes running up, and she puts this badge on Peggy. She said, I found your badge. And Peggy looks at it, she's like, oh yes, thank you. So I thought nothing of it. Then one of our friends turns up, who was here earlier, Jeanette. She turns up. And they've got no badge for her. So she gets the handwritten badge. And then we're talking, you know, it's a bit later in the evening, and with Jeanette talking to some people. Peggy comes up and she says, who are you? You are not Jeanette Kenyon. I am Jeanette Kenyon. I have the official badge. You are an imposter. She knows her. She's known her for years. That was the kind of thing Peggy would do to make you laugh. So, I mean, that's my story. That's just one that will always stay with me. Whenever I think of it, it just makes me laugh. And whenever I think of the reception, because it happens every year, I go to it and I just think, gosh, Peggy at that Higgins reception, she was incredible. So that's me. That's my story I wanted to share with you. The last thing I'll say is that Peggy, for me, she was a friend. She was a sister. She's the same age as my sister, actually. She was a sister. She was everything, actually. And she was, I think you're absolutely right, she was always there. She had this uncanny ability to turn up when you needed her. And what breaks my heart, but I understand how private she was, is that I wasn't able to do the same for her. But that is sometimes just the way that life is. So I'm going to end there and hand over to my sister.
I don't know where to start, to be honest, but I met Peggy through my sister. They were friends, but Peggy was more my friend. And then Peggy met my friends, and they became her friends. That's the type of person that Peggy is. She, much like my sister, she's been in my life since Funto was 5. Funto, my daughter, are the same age, so they're cousins. Even though we're not blood relatives, but I think you get the gist about family. Lots has been said about Peggy. I mirror everything that's been said this evening, but I want to leave you with one story that I've told to so many people. You probably all know it, and it involves Nelson Mandela. And if you don't know it, you do not know the story of Peggy and Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela came, when he was released from prison, I think he did that world tour, he came to London and he was at Brixton, the Brixton Recreation Centre, and the turnout, there was massive crowd, obviously all these people that wanted to see Nelson Mandela. And Peju dresses up in our traditional outfit, goes to the Brixton Recreation Centre, where they think she's part of Nelson Mandela's entourage. I'm hoping I'm getting this story right, Peju. Every time I think about it, I'm just like astounded. But the pictures, I think there's a picture in the back of them. It's true, it happened. So she manages to get right all up and close with Nelson Mandela, hugs him, and there's a picture of the chief exec of Lambeth Council at the time, who I think was Heather Rabbits, and there is a look of panic in her eyes because no one knows who this woman is. The security thinks she's part of Nelson Mandela's group. So, so everybody's trying to sort of gingerly and gingerly take her away from Nelson Mandela. I will leave it at that, and that tells you the type of spirit, of adventure, of boldness, there's so many adjectives that you can say for Peju, and all of them have helped inspire my life. And you're right, every time I've had a really bad time in my life, Peju just suddenly appears. And she's just there, and it's like, how does she know? How does she know? So Peju from One Spa Sister. Peju's my co-admin for the Spa Sisters. I hope you're enjoying that great spa in the sky with champagne, with love. We miss you. We wish you were here with us today. I don't even know what else to say because I'm still dealing with the grief. I only found out, like my sister, a month ago. So it's still really, really raw, no doubt for all of you as it is for me. But thank you for just taking the time out to listen to me this evening, and much love and blessings to you all.
Jackie and Celia, thank you very much.
I think what's really interesting is when you hear such things about your little sister. She was my kid sister. So I always had her, and those of you know me and most of you do, my name for her was Kid. She was my little sister, she was my kid sister. So to hear such great things being said about my sister, from the church, or whatever you want to call it, crematorium today, it lifts my spirit. Someone said to me when I was going around saying hello to everybody, how come you're so happy? Because I realised my sister was such a great person, and I didn't realise it. But today, I truly have realised it. To hear the tributes, to hear the stories, Tom, you just got loads. But to hear the stories and the tributes, but he deserves that because he was with her closely for 9 years. She was my little sister, and I was close with her, but I didn't meet most of you. I heard about you. I'd seen texts and whatever and WhatsApp messages that had been sent. She showed me, oh, look what so-and-so was doing. But to see you in person and have such great, wonderful, beautiful words to say about my sister, wow, that is something which is overwhelming. And so today, I'd like to say, on behalf of my family here, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for taking time out of our busy schedules. Christmas is upon us almost. But you've taken today and said, it's Peju's Day. And I'm going to find the time. I'm going to make the time where I can find it, and I'm going to make the time to be here to celebrate what we had and what we shared with my kid sister. So from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of my family, thank you so much. Enjoy the evening. There is a, what do you call that book? Memory condolences book, memory book at the back there. If you wouldn't mind writing a message, if you feel you want to, no pressure. That's one thing I don't do, pressure. So if you want to, please feel free to do so, because at the end of the day, that book will go to Funta. So it'd be nice for her to look back at some point and be able to read those messages in the near future, or even in the distant future. So once again, thank you so much. The bar is here. Please don't let me take some drinks back. I'm fed up with having big drinks in my basement. Because I end up drinking them and I don't want to drink them. No, Bryce and I. We share the stock. So, once again, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and just thank you for being here today.
Just picture if you would what life would be. Ain't much good without a woman. She can nag and be a constant pain. Oh, that woman. But those hips, she's got me whipped, and it's just too hard to resist. What a woman. Hey, she'll put